I suck. This is the phrase that comes most to mind when I think of self-esteem. I remember my most recent therapist, who unfortunately I had to leave because of personal issues, caused me to move. Um, and I remember at the start of our last therapy session, she wanted to focus on self-esteem. And the first thing she did was word association. And I was like, oh boy, fun. And she was like, self-esteem or like your sense of self or whatever. What do you associate that with first? And just like that, like I can't really snap, but basically, immediately, my the first thought that came to my mind was worthlessness, and I was like, I don't know that you want to know the first word that came into my mind. And she's like, gotta tell me. And I'm like, fine. So I said worthlessness, and she's like, why do you think that is? And it's a damn good question. But, unsurprisingly, within a 45-minute session, we didn't quite get to the bottom of it. Obviously, and that's, you know, it's not surprising. No one's fault, etc. But I don't know exactly why I have these self-esteem issues. I could trace it back to like certain events in my life. Like I was involuntarily admitted to psych wards a few times when I was younger because I used to have autistic meltdowns. And maybe it was because I was in special education for so long, people treated me differently. I felt isolated. Maybe I felt like I was inferior to other people. Um, it didn't help that other people called me and my friends who were in special ed class speds and sped monkeys and shit like that. And, you know, but it's probably what my therapist said. There's probably no one event that caused me to have bad self esteem. And it was probably just, a bunch of small things that have kind of added up to it. All the small things, you could say. No, okay, okay. Um, yeah, so, and my self esteem didn't used to be so bad like this, but recently I've been dealing with depression and a lot of personal issues, and I just went through a breakup, so that was really bad. And it's just taken a huge toll on me mentally, and I'm doing better, but I'm really just doing better like surface level. I think like surface level, I'm fine. If you talk to me, I can hold a conversation. I can handle most things that I could normally handle. But deep down, pretty fucked up about stuff right now, and that sucks. I've adopted a pretty zen way of looking at life, where if this is something's out of my control or something, I just can't do anything about it. I just try to keep calm about it, move on, do to a different thing. I've actually redone this video 5 times by now, 4 times, because YouTube was being ridiculous and my webcam wouldn't cooperate. And so I'm just using an external software, and I'm just going to go from there. I should be able to find a way to upload this to YouTube, so I'm not too worried. But anyway, yeah, so I've just, I'm not even too mad about it, because honestly, every time that I've been able to redo it, I've even done the whole video, almost the whole video, and the webcam cut off, and I'm just like, it's a good chance for me to reword things. Because like at this point, like I just can't afford to have mental breakdowns about talking about my mental health, basically. It's very funny that I've had so many problems with this video when it's all about my self-esteem, and like the first words are like, I suck. And then I've just had so many problems with this goddamn video. So, but anyway, I think part of my self-esteem issues come from where I derive my self-worth, because I derive a lot of it from helping my friends and helping other people, and that's not really healthy in the long run. Like, it's okay to get some of your value maybe from helping other people. It's a good thing to do, and you're doing a good thing, and yay you. But that shouldn't be the majority of it. And I certainly put too much stock in the opinion of other people, and like, because like when the other exercise that me and my therapist my therapist and I were doing, was she would have me try to speak confidently about things that I know that I'm good at, and it was really tough. A lot of the time, I'd just be kind of going like, or I'd be like thinking for a long time, or I'd like, well, people say, or like people seem to think, or like my friends say, or like I guess, like finally saying an I statement, but just kind of like saying, And she's like, you can't do that. What are some things that you confidently think you're good at? And I'm like, making puns. So she's like, being good at humor, making your friends laugh. And so I said, okay, fine. So I'm good at making my friends laugh. I'm good at being a good friend, and I'm a good poet. I can't even say that fully confidently because my afterthought was, I guess. So those are two things that I'm confident about. I'm funny and I'm a good friend, and those are kind of the two things she told me to say to myself every morning in the mirror. But I haven't really been doing that because it's super cheesy, and I know that's stupid, but I don't know. I've been trying to say it to myself more, or at least reassure myself. It helps. But anyway, the deriving self-worth thing, I know it's not healthy in the long run. And I'm trying to get better at being like independently valuing myself because it's more sustainable. And the other part of it is that like I try to be a really helpful person, and I have a really big penchant for helping friends. Like I love my family, but I have this weird dynamic where like I didn't choose my family, and like I chose my friends. So in some way, like I feel closer to them, like in a certain sense. But I mean, I love my family. For any of my family members who watch this, obviously I love you. But I don't know, it's a different kind of love, I guess, because I didn't choose my family. I chose to have friends, and obviously I could unchoose my family, but I'm not interested in doing that. Anyway, so yeah, it's like I just, I've had situations where friends are like, look, I get that you care about me, but I want to do this by myself, and I don't need your help, and I'll let you know when I'm better. And this hasn't happened too many times. I don't think I really annoy people with like, can I help you now? Can I help you now? But there's been like one or two friends, like I think really just one recently, who said, I need to take this care of this by myself. I appreciate your advice and your offer to help, but I don't need it, and I don't want it, and that doesn't mean like I don't care about you or love you, or they didn't say love you, but you know what I mean. It wasn't out of malice or trying to be mean. It was just, hey, I got this, and when I do have this, I'll let you know, and that's fair. Unfortunately, it leaves me with sort of a empty whole sense of like, wow, I couldn't help this person, and like, does that make me a bad person and shit like that. There's other mental health stuff, self-esteem stuff I get into, like, well, I helped this many people today, therefore I can do A, B, and C because I helped X, Y, and Z persons, and that's bullshit. I mean, it's the reward system, but applied to self-esteem, so it's really weird because I like the reward system, but I don't think it's healthy to apply it to self-esteem because you get all these weird things where it's like, oh, I walked to an old lady across the street, now I can finally take that bath I've been meaning to take for like 3 weeks. And I'm not to that point, but it's a matter of scale, not principle. Like principally, yeah, I kind of do that kind of stuff sometimes, and it's not cool. I've kind of, through that therapy session I mentioned a few times now, I concluded with my therapist, I'm human, and therefore I deserve to be happy. And it's not a lot, it's not much more simple than that, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's nothing more complicated going on here. I'm human, I deserve to be happy. I'm not a particularly bad human. I used to just kind of be of the opinion that I'm okay. Now I think that I suck, which sucks. It double sucks because I have all these great people who love me and care about me and think really highly of me and give me all these compliments. And I used to just be able to just, accept the compliment, but kind of tenderly and not very hands-on with it. I'd be kind of like, oh, well, thank you. And I kind of just move on because I've always had trouble with taking compliments for a long time now. But recently it's just like when people compliment me, it's like I don't know, it's like a ghost or something. Like somebody's whispering some sort of secret code, and I'm just like, I think you're talking about me, but I'm not really sure. And that's kind of where my head is at, I guess. And, it feels shitty because all these people, they really care about me, obviously. And they're genuine about it. But I got my own issues, and it kind of inhibits, I should say, not prohibits, inhibits me from receiving as much joy as maybe I should. But that's not really a fair way to look at it, is it? I mean, I'm not exactly winning at any awards here, so But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I wanted to talk about self-esteem and mental health. This feels a lot more personal to me, and I've been writing a lot, so I kind of wanted to um, do something different, I guess you would say. Um, if you're wondering about the tone of my voice, it's I'm traveling right now, and the person who I'm staying with has been sleeping for the past few hours, and so I'm trying to like not be super loud, but I have volume control issues, so I think that's about it though. Wow, 10 minutes came really fast. I think I'll do more videos on mental health. I think it's really helpful for me to do it. I think this is therapeutic, but it's not therapy. Like, I know I need a therapist, and I'm going to work on that when I come back to New Hampshire in mid-November. But until then, maybe this will be okay. So, we'll see. To anybody who watches this, thank you. I want to put a disclaimer. I'm not suicidal in the least. I haven't had suicidal ideations for... This is actually nice to think about for a month, maybe a little bit more. So that's been really nice, and I haven't really thought about committing suicide or whatever. When I did have those thoughts, I didn't. They're usually just passing fancies. They're not like serious, committed thought. Like, how would I kill myself? I've never really thought about that too deeply. But I haven't had any in the past month, I think. I'm pretty sure. It's I still had a kind of a tough month here and there, but no suicidal ideation, which has been nice. But anyway, yeah, I just, I'm okay, but surface level, but like, deep down, I'm still really fucked up about shit that's going on and shit that happened. So maybe I'll talk about that to some extent, but we'll see. I'm not really sure how to end this, but I'm gonna try to get better at this stuff. And self-esteem is hard, man. It's really hard when you think you suck. So I'm gonna keep at it, and maybe I'll see you in a future video. Bye bye.